Hey folks, welcome to lesson 5. This week we are moving on from the "this I believe" statement that you wrote last week from the "this I believe" essay, which I will have graded by week's end, so stay tuned for those. But we are moving on to a critical essay in which you will be offering your opinion on some topics that don't have easy yes or no answers, and that might have some gray area that you can navigate through, and that you are encouraged to navigate through in coming up with your own ideas on the issues. So that's what we're moving on to this week. I just wanted to point out a couple of things that you might want to pay attention to through the week. Per usual, I've got my lesson rundown open for you here. Got my weekly videos, etc., etc. Hopefully these are encouraging for you and that you're using them to develop a deeper understanding of the intersection between Mormonism and language, as well as your fellow saints, the diversity of the people who are out there in this world who call themselves Mormons. So that's just my lesson 5 lowdown, my public service announcement, I guess, for you to look at those and to engage with some of the things that I posted there. The outline for the week is the same as per usual, but the focus for the week, our objectives are to explore open-ended questions to develop critical thinking and writing skills. Open-ended questions being, of course, questions that don't require a yes or no answer, that push you to move beyond just a yes or no, which a yes or no question is it's called a close-ended question. So we really want to encourage and to look for open-ended questions that can help us to think more deeply about issues and to help us develop critical thinking and writing skills, obviously. We're also going to learn the importance of unity and focus in the writing. A lot of times when we talk about writing, and myself included, we use the word flow. This flows well. But there are two different things that we'll be talking about this week that help us to move beyond the kind of ambiguous nature, the vagueness that is associated with the word flow. It's what might flow for somebody, for one person, might not flow for somebody else. So we're going to use the terms unity and coherence to talk about sentence structure as well as paragraph structure and the overall unity and coherence of the paper. And also we're going to practice avoiding wordy sentences. That's going to be your grammar activity for the week. We'll be on wordy sentences, revising some of those. We also have some readings and discussion. The reading assignments for the week are pretty cool. One is it's called Diagnosing and Treating the Ophelia Syndrome. It's by someone named Thomas G. Plummer. It was a lecture given at BYU in the 90s, 80s or 90s, I believe. But in it, he talks about learning to think for yourselves, gives some pointers about some really good activities, principles for critical thinking that can help you move beyond just letting other people tell you what to think and thinking for yourself, because that's one thing that college is really all about. I read this essay my very first semester in college, and it changed my thinking quite literally about it changed my own take on thinking about what critical thinking was. So pay attention to that one. This one is by Hugh B. Brown, An Eternal Quest, Freedom of the Mind. Eternal or intellectual freedom being a staple, a central aspect, a central principle in academia. So pay attention to this. I think these things will not only help you in your college careers, but also beyond. And then in the discussion board, we'll be talking about some of these things. Got some really good questions, some comments already going on there. So make sure you get your initial post done by midnight Wednesday and your at least two responses by midnight Saturday. And let's move on quickly to the writing assignment. Your first draft will be due Wednesday per usual. You will take that with you. Actually, you'll submit that, just copy and paste it into this. When you click start here, you'll copy and paste it here. Again, I'm going to say this again, don't worry about the formatting for these drafts, but you will need to worry about the formatting for the final essays. So just keep that in mind. You'll be looking at some of these questions here. I'll be answering some of these questions, open-ended questions that encourage you to think deeply about these topics, to come up with your own opinion and to offer support for your opinion, because that's what this essay is going to be all about. You'll be bringing in some support from outside, from research to help you clearly support your own thesis. Look over the rubric here. It offers the items that I will be looking at as I grade your essays. There are also some student examples that might be useful for you. So just keep those things in mind when you are writing your critical thinking essay this week. That's pretty much all we've got. Everything else, like I mentioned before, it's the same structure, just some different content in there. So if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to post it on my lowdown page on the Q&A, or to email me. My inbox is always open.